We don't understand what real transformation looks like. The transformation is not metamorphosis. In science, they call the metamorphosis like when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly or a tadpole turns into a frog. Metamorphosis. They change. When a little grub turns into a moth, they change. That's a metamorphosis. But metamorpho is something supernatural. So the Greek word for transform means metamorpho, not metamorphosis. So that means, what does this mean? There are people out there right now that thinks transformation is putting on a form of godliness. I don't look like the way I used to look. Don't act like the way I used to act. And they put on a form of godliness, but they deny the power thereof. But the thing about metamorpho is a supernatural transformation of the mind. Something supernatural gets a hold of you. Something supernatural changes your thought pattern. It changes your perception. It changes the way you think. And when you change the way you think, then that's when you change the way you act. That's when you change the way you walk. That's when you change the way you talk. See? That's when you reach a place of integrity because the mind has been transformed through a supernatural transformation. Metamorpho, not metamorphosis. So it says that I need to be transformed by what? By the renewing of the mind. Somebody say, I got to hit the restart button. Because renew means a fresh start. Renew means an establishment of a relationship with God. When I renew my mind, then that means that I need to establish a true, intimate relationship with God in my mind, in my heart. But it's going to take, don't you know that a lot of folks don't understand that, your heart got to change before your mind change. Your heart got to change first. You can change your mind all you want to. You can try to change it. But if the heart doesn't change, then your mind is in trouble. That's why you see the steps. It says, present your body a living sacrifice unto God with a change of heart. Which is your what? Your reasonable service, which means rational worship, because it involves your mind and your heart and your soul. Love the Lord thy God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. Okay? It involves more. See? So now, after I have presented my body holy and acceptable unto God, now my mind got to change. My mind has to establish that true relationship with God. I have to have a fresh start of my mind, a refreshness of my mind with God. Why do you renew your mind? I'm having so many conversations with Christians that don't even know a hill of beans of what's going on right now. It's sad. It's sad. And then when you talk to them about certain situations that's going on right now, they just going off of what grandma said or what great grandma said or what they say or somebody else say. They ain't getting no information for yourself. Ain't praying, ain't seeking God. The mind is not right. The mind has not been renewed. The established relationship with God have not been established. Okay? So what happens is because the mind is not renewed, guess what happens? You cannot prove what is good Oh, y'all don't want to look at somebody and say, America's mind is messed up. I don't care what they think. America's mind is messed up. Their mind is messed up. Because when your mind is messed up and your mind is not renewed, you can't prove what is good. That means that you cannot judge what is good. You say that, look, you say bad is good and good is bad. And that's what's happening. Because the mind is not being renewed. People's minds are not being renewed. There are more Christians today, more Christians that minds are not renewed, and they don't even know what is good. So they'll say something that the word of God says bad, they'll say good. Abortion is good. Same-sex marriage is good. They'll say transgender is good. Oh, that's good. Why? Because you can't prove what is good. You cannot judge what is good. And that's what's happening with a lot of people. The mind is messed up where they can't even prove, they can't even judge goodness. This is big, y'all. We are seeing the state of America. Well, people don't know what is good, and they don't know what is acceptable.